Tina Turner, survivor of narcissistic abuse, Part 3. As a teenager, Tina Turner, or Bullock as she was then known, worked as a domestic worker for the Henderson family. She was at the Henderson house when she was notified that her half-sister Evelyn had died in a car crash, alongside her cousins Margaret and Vayla Evans. A self-professed tomboy, Bullock joined both the cheerleading squad and the female basketball team at Carver High School in Brownsville and socialized every chance she got. When Bullock was 16, her grandmother died, so she went to live with her mother in St. Louis. She graduated from Sumner High School in 1958. After her graduation, Bullock worked as a nurse's aide at Barnes Jewish Hospital. Bullock and her sister began to frequent nightclubs in St. Louis and East St. Louis. She first saw Ike Turner perform with his band, the Kings of Rhythm, at the Manhattan Club in East St. Louis. Bullock was impressed by his talent, recalling that she almost went into a trance watching him play. She asked Turner to let her sing in his band, despite the fact that few women had ever sung with him. Turner said he'd call her, but never did, future faking. One night in 1957, she got hold of the microphone from Kings of Rhythm drummer Eugene Washington during an intermission, and she sang the B.B. King blues ballad, You Know I Love You. Upon hearing her sing, Turner asked her if she knew more songs. She sang the rest of the night and became a featured vocalist with his band. During this period, he taught her the finer points of vocal control and performance. Bullock's first recording was in 1958 under the name Little Ann on the single Box Top. She's credited as a vocalist on the record alongside Ike and fellow Kings of Rhythm singer Carlson Oliver. She was then asked about recalling the first time that she laid eyes on Ike. Turner said, I thought he was terribly ugly. There had been such a build-up about him because he had the hottest band around. When I first saw him, I remember thinking that I can never have seen anyone that skinny. He was immaculately dressed, real clean and all sculptured. The bones and the hair. He wore his hair processed. I didn't like processed hair, so I didn't like his hairdo. But when he walked out, he did have a great presence, although you have to realize that I was a schoolgirl looking at a man. Or, more likely, an empath looking at a narcissist. I was used to boys in jeans and short-sleeve shirts, but boy could he play that music. The place just started rocking. I wanted to get up there and sing so bad, but that took an entire year. One day, during one of the band's breaks, the drummer came up and set the microphone down in front of me, and I started singing. Well, when Ike heard me, he rushed over to me and said, Girl, I didn't know you could sing. The band came back, and I kept singing, and everybody came around to see who it was. Everybody was real happy for me because they knew I was Aileen's little sister who wanted to sing. I was a star. Ike went out and bought me all these clothes. Assertion of control through bribery. I had a fur and rings and gloves. I was driving a Cadillac, and I was still in school. I started dating one of the boys in the band named Raymond. We didn't fool around right away because I was so unsophisticated. While still in Brownsville, Turner, then called Anna Mae Bullock, fell in love for the first time with Harry Taylor. They met at her high school basketball game. Taylor initially attended a different school, but he relocated to be near her. In 1986, she told Rolling Stone, Harry was real popular and had tons of girlfriends, but eventually I got him, and went steady for a year. Their relationship ended after she discovered that Taylor had married another girl who was expecting his child. Likely that Taylor was a narcissist, and already she was subconsciously being drawn to narcissist empath that she was. That here he had cheated on her, that he was married somebody else, that he had a lot of other partners, and that she didn't realize, of course, what she was dealing with and, of course, what she had an addiction to. After moving to St. Louis, Bullock and her sister Aileen became acquainted with Ike Turner's King of Rhythm. Aileen was dating the band's drummer Eugene Washington. Bullock began dating the saxophonist Raymond Hill. After Turner became pregnant during her senior year of high school, she moved in with Hill, who lived with Ike Turner. She recalled, I didn't love him as much as I'd loved Harry, but he was good looking, I thought. My baby's going to be beautiful. Their relationship ended after Hill broke his ankle during a wrestling match with Kings of Rhythm singer Carlson Oliver. Hill returned to his hometown of Clarksdale before their son Craig was born in August 1958, leaving Bullock to become a single parent. The fact that he abandoned her so readily, showing no accountability to assist with the upbringing of his child, could possibly point to another narcissist that she was involved with. Turner likened her early relationship with Ike Turner to that of a brother and sister from another lifetime. They were platonic friends from the time they met in 1957 until 1960. Their affair began while Ike was with his living girlfriend Lorraine Taylor. Thus, he's demonstrating infidelity already. They had sex when she went to sleep with him after another musician threatened to go into her room. After a recording of Fool in Love, Turner told Ike that she didn't want to continue their relationship. His response? He struck her in the head with a wooden shoe stretcher. Application of physical violence, potentially as a consequence of a threat to control. Turner recalled that this incident was the first time he instilled fear in her, but she decided to stay with him because she really did care about him. After the birth of their son Ronnie in October 1960, they moved to Los Angeles in 1962 and married in Tijuana. In 1963, Ike purchased a house in the View Park area. They brought their son Ronnie, Turner's son Craig, and Ike's two sons with Lorraine, Ike Jr. and Michael, from St. Louis to live with them. Notice that Ike Turner has had multiple relationships and children with multiple people, showing a lack of accountability, a sense of entitlement. She later revealed in I, Tina that Ike was abusive and promiscuous throughout their marriage. Absence of emotional empathy towards her, sense of entitlement to sleep with who he wanted, assertion of control through sex, lack of accountability for behaviours, physical and mental abuse towards Tina Turner, again evidencing an absence of emotional empathy, lack of boundary recognition. This led to her suicide attempt in 1968 by overdosing on Valium pills. She said, "It was my relationship with Ike that made me the most unhappy. At first, I had really been in love with him. Look what he'd done for me. But he was totally unpredictable." Later on in his old age, Ike was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I would suggest that that was a misdiagnosis, and it is quite common for certain narcissists to be deemed to be bipolar, when in actual fact, they are narcissists. We continue with this examination of the life of Tina Turner, a survivor of narcissistic abuse. Join me in part 4.